Hello, I'm Clare English. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this. I admit I am no tech expert or geek. Maybe you feel the same way, but even the most IT-averse person checking out social media feeds over the past few weeks could not have failed to notice the blizzard of revelations about sexism emanating from happy Silicon Valley. That's the dog agreeing with me in the background. Each day, more hair-raising tales of ordinary sexism emerge, and there's either a collective shrug or a bit of a grimace. Do we get angry or do we let it pass? Well, perhaps we've reached a bit of a tipping point and things might be about to change. The latest revelations from California are gaining traction, with high-profile industry women raising their heads above the parapet. Looks like the time has come for the Bay Area VC's Boys Club to take a long, hard look at itself. So far, I guess, so depressing, but wait, out of the gloom, there is a glimmer of hope. While no one can minimise the damage done to the reputation of some of Silicon Valley's biggest tech firms, we have to recognise that at least the IT crowd are finally admitting there is a humongous problem with how women are treated at work. Now, whether it be overt, predatory sexual behaviour or the less obvious but no less serious stuff, for example, belittling or plain ignoring women, some very powerful men seem to be abusing their positions with impunity, and they've been allowed to do so for years. And hey, before we start getting too complacent in Scotland or UK or even in the non-tech sectors, this stuff is clearly not confined to one industry. Sexism in the workplace is alive and thriving on these shores almost everywhere. Now, sure, the tech industry is still taking the big hits. It's certainly been unedifying hearing at first-hand accounts of jaw-dropping abuse meted out on competent women. But now it looks like the charge is on. So many women are putting themselves out there, owning the problem now, that it's clear this genie is unlikely to pop compliantly back into the bottle. Workplace diversity doesn't sound very sexy, but it's one of the biggest social issues of our times, and we all, and that means the boys too, need to be talking about how we sort it out. Now, this is the 21st century we're in. More than 100 years have passed since the suffragettes began the political and very public fight against gender inequality in Britain. So why is it we're still having to talk about these inequities? Many women have tried or wanted to voice their frustration and horror, but it's only now they've been given a bit of a lift by the American women who've had the bottle to call out the big names. Resignations and apologies have followed, but this is very much a long-haul battle. A few reforms and moves towards gender parity won't cut it anymore. It's not going to be enough. Cultural and systemic change is needed. Now, out with the tech industry, firms across the board continue to treat women differently from men. This might mean less pay, fewer promotion prospects, less support, less encouragement. Yes, we have to admit there has been some incremental progress made, like placing more women on boards and operating better retention strategies. So I have to ask, why not be more daring now? Because the hot breath of reform is blowing in from California. We can feel it on our necks. I've got a 21-year-old daughter who thinks I'm getting ridiculously worked up about this stuff because as she sees it from her unjaded undergraduate's world-eye view, she's not overly concerned about facing sexism when she emerges like a chrysalis from university. She's in for quite a shock, I think, unless she's planning on working single-handed in Siberia. I've recounted so many tales of the way I was treated as a rookie journalist back in the day. You know, the kind of thing, get the T's in love. Do you know the offside rule? Those are the cliches, but there are so many more. But frankly, for me, it was less upsetting and more bemusing. So what's changed to make my daughter and her generation of friends feel they're apt to be, inverted commas, lucky? That is, judged solely on their professional merit. Now, they can be individually strong and make their feelings plain if they're treated unfairly, but often the problem is systemic, and sometimes it's not even recognised. Unconscious bias affects us all, men and women. Now, it looks to me like we require a change of both mindset and strategy, ASAP, and the foundations have to be laid in early years. Little girls and boys should be told to expect and demand there be no gender barriers when choosing a career. Maths and sciences are not the exclusive preserve of the boys. They're terrific subjects for any inquiring mind to take on. We know the stats borne out by @MyCodeAngel recently. Young girls, very young girls, start out keen on STEM subjects, 66%. Then they go further into their school careers, maybe aged between 13 and 17. That percentage plummets to 32. And by the time they emerge at the university stage, their enthusiasm has been well and truly curbed. 4%, a mere 4% take the subjects up at this level. Bravo, what an own goal. We've effectively eliminated half the population from the science, maths, tech equation and achieving a decent career path that could potentially contribute millions to the economy. So obviously there's a pipeline issue that needs looking at. In addition, wouldn't be a bad thing to show young girls or young women how downright attractive working in male-dominated industries such as tech can be. Wow them with the prospect of utilising a vast range of skills, unleashing outrageous creativity and providing opportunities to climb the ladder, make their presence known. Now the hard bit, who is going to start to do at least some of this? Well, it's funny you should ask. Not that you did. It's time for that debate to really take off here in Scotland, and we at WES are doing something to that end, along with our friends at Edinburgh University's Informatics. Come along to an important and timely inaugural event in Edinburgh this October. Details on the website. Keep the conversation flowing, listen to some inspirational speakers, hear what the latest thinking is in tech circles. Use the opportunity to vent, to inform, to learn, to network. It'll give you a good idea of how things really stand at the moment in the dynamic world of IT. And in case this sounds like it could turn into a bit of a carp fest, there's going to be plenty of positivity too. Great speakers, great insight, great fun as well. We can all take up the baton from the Californian tech world women who've stepped up so far. We want the same things to move forward, to make the workplace a good environment for us all, irrespective of gender, creed, race. Wouldn't it be great to be judged at work on just that, the work we do? Can I just leave you with one thought? Might seem a bit odd, but why not say thanks to Silicon Valley, especially the courageous women who are being buffered about on the tectonic plates of gender politics every day? It's not a pretty picture at the moment, but at least and at last the conversation has begun in earnest. Do we let things stand? Of course not. Do we get angry? Perhaps. But if we're serious, we won't get mad. We'll get equal.